Hi, it's Bernie Slavin. Thanks for joining me on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And thanks as always to the sponsors, Heroes and Legends, GRS Insulation, Cornerstone, Galaxy Blinds, Dovecot, Friends and Company Estate Agents, Advanced Utility Solutions, Alta Build, Cleveland Systems Engineering, and TGM Cars. Today's team was Dieng, Engel, Clark, Ailing tucked in alongside Clark because Vandenberg was out and Dixdale was on the right. Jones, Morris, Azaz, Hackney, Bazog and Latte Laugh. On the bench was Saul Bryn, Beleza, Gilbert, Hamilton, Coburn, Conway, McCormack, Finch and Hunt. The game itself, it was another newly promoted team. We got beat last week astonishingly despite 20 shots at goal and them having 2 or 3 and the dreadful back pass for Jones last week. But that had gone. They're newly promoted. They beat us 1-0. I don't know how, but they did it. Today, we're looking to get back on track against another newly promoted side in Portsmouth. And again, football was good. Both teams were attacking. Their first goal after, 4 or 5 minutes was a fine goal. Great move up the right-hand side. Ball get whipped in. Lad on Matt, thank you very much. And then we just kept battling away. The goal, the second goal we conceded, the goal we conceded was, well, I say fanning about the back. I say it's in the lounge before the game. We need to stop this fanning about. And lo and behold, we continue to do it. We get a penalty late on in the game that got us off the hook. But the second goal we conceded, the ball was come up the inside left. Dieng has ran away to the right side of his box, where Big Clarky is. The ball's sort of in air. Both of them collide. There seems a distinct lack of communication. The ball falls to the number 15, don't know his name, and he carries it and puts it in the empty net. It was criminal. But we still had a lot of efforts at goal and enough to do the business. I mean, my first goal came for a corner kick. We have still not scored an open play in the league. That's 2 penalties we've been given and 1 for a corner kick. So 3 set pieces we've scored goals. But we've made enough chances to make us believe, and I'm sure and I believe, that we will start scoring goals. But the last few games, I mean, if you count the league game, forget the Leeds game in the Cup. A lot of you don't want to count that anyway. The league game, 4 points out of 9, is not the start that we dreamt of and foreseen. We thought we were going to hit the ground running. Derby we thought we'd beat today. We thought we'd get back on track, but it never materialised. But as I say, the messing about, continuously messing about, fanning about the back, doesn't work for me. It aggravates me, annoys me. It makes me anxious. It makes the team anxious. I mean, every time Dieng get the ball, Dieng had the thing is, don't understand, right? As a former professional footballer, if your keeper's having a bad time, and Dieng was having a bad time, he'd flapped at a couple, he'd caused the goal, and a couple of times he nearly got caught short and conceded another. We keep giving him the ball back. Let him recover for the messes in, recover, get to half time, and then we can talk about it and come out hopefully rejuvenated and more confident. But we kept giving them the ball back. And I don't get that. But anyway, it was a good game of football. It was intense stuff. Well done to Portsmouth. They didn't come to clog it up and frustrate us. They came to try and have a go. They had a go. They went away home with a point, and it was a well-deserved point, in my opinion. Colin says, borderline incompetence. The second goal against us. But Colin, I'm on here. If you rewound me on here last season and the season before that, we've did it forever. We keep hearing we're in a good place. Sunderland went top. They were 10 choice manager. Lost the best player. Yeah, Sunderland went top of the league today. Can you believe that? I nearly fell off the chair when somebody told me that. We're talking about Middlesbrough, this guy went, if you can believe that, Bernie? Sunderland's top of the league. Wow. Defending's a joke, Bernie. This is for Paul Rowland. I would say that as well. Not sure what they actually do in training. That defence looked like they never played together. Why does Dieng come so bloody far off his line all the time? Well, it's funny because last week when Jones turned, he wasn't off his line. The day he was, I seen corner kicks and he was way up near the halfway line. But the messing about the back, I still don't get it. We're not very good at it. And we keep, it's a suicide football. You're looking for trouble. And you're put to the sword. And we were. Why Dieng got a rush of blood and went away up to the right-hand side of the box, I do not know. And say they looked a distinct lack of communication. Maybe there was communication. I can't hear from where I'm sitting. But I only surmise that. But if there wasn't, then it's just bad play. And I thought Big Clarky done well today. I did thought in the main he looked good. Don't forget he was pairing with Ailing because Van der Berg was out injured. Another injury. 4 games in. What is going on? These players in the modern world, the modern game, are spoiled. Dietitians, sports scientists, psychologists, the best treatment, cold baths, whatever. And we're falling like flies. What is going on? We thought it was bad last season. We're only a few games in. McGree's missing. Van der Berg's missing. Fry's never, I don't know where he is. Foz, where's he? He fell off the planet. It's a joke. It's not as if the challenges are hefty these days, is it? Evening, Bernie, mate, for Pete Royal Hire. Pete, Jonathan Smith says, Borough's defence dodgier than German, I was going to say Defoe. Genesis text message. Yeah, I can see it. I know it's a joke. As I say, getting into that, we'll never know what is in it. Everybody's, yeah. If it's 2 consenting adults swapping texts, well, I don't see any problem with that. If it's illegal images, yeah, I do, but we'll never know. And make one mistake and you're sacked. Jones made a hell of a mistake last week. He's still in the starting lineup today. Evening, Bernie. Let's stick to the football. Anthony Morton says, Evening, Bernie. Evening, Anthony. Hope you're good. Well, I'm still confident Borough can get to where we want to be, but it's just been a hitty miss start. Getting so fed up these silly mistakes at the back. Need Carrick to start calling these mistakes out instead of skating around the issues. I'm sure the goals will come eventually. I agree with that as well. When the lads get fully match fit. Well, match fit would have been a bit more fitter in game time if we'd have played the same team as played in the last 3 league games, rather than disturbing it against Leeds United. It's just incredibly frustrating up the Borough. The thing is, I'm in the lounge, I do the lounge, and I like to be honest and forthright and give my honest opinion. Andy says, look, before the game, I'm fed up with this fanning about the back. We're not very good at it. We need to stop it. There's certain teams you can do it against, and there's certain teams that close you down, clog you, frustrate you, and force you into an issue in a corner, and you end up making a mistake. And lo and behold, it could have quite easily happened 2 or 3 times in the first half. It happened on one occasion, which was costly, when the lad just ran and put it into the empty net, when Big Clark and Dieng were practically cuddling each other. It's a joke. And how we continue to keep doing it, but as I said at the top of the show, why would you keep passing it to Dieng when he's having an off day in the first half? He had 2 that he came out and one he missed, he flapped. The other one, I think he mispunched. He was blamed for the goal along with Big Clarky. And we continue to play it back. That's the easy option, easy ball out. What about getting it, hoofing it in Rose Head, or hoofing it, turning and trying to put it in the corners? If you're left-footed, left back, get it out your feet, drop the shoulder, get it up the left flank. That's a way out. Evening, Bernie. The injuries are starting to chalk up again. And the same defensive frailties persist from last season, says Samuel Elliott. Hiya, Samuel. What's going on in training? Well, obviously I don't watch training, Samuel. But whatever happens at training, we're taking it onto the field to play. Or maybe they're good at it at training when there's nobody watching, and when a crowd gets in there, some of them can't hack it. There's players that can play in the big games and when it's real, and there's training ground players. I heard that for Ian Baird. Many years ago, there was one of the lads training, used to hit 30-yard drives, goal after goal at training. And Ian Baird had just arrived for Leeds, and he turned around to this lad this day and he went, you're a TG player. And we'd never heard that saying, and we went, what do you mean? And he went, training ground player, can he do it in the big games? So maybe they are good at passing it at training, but unfortunately the public don't pay hard-earned cash to watch training. They watch it on a Saturday, and the fans now are on the edge of their seat, biting their nails, biting the guy next to them's nails, because they're panicking. And every time, it became a joke today, because every time they didn't get the ball, well done to the travelling supporters at Portsmouth. There was a healthy contingent of their fans travelled, made the long trip. They were all going, whoa, oh, what, taking the Jeffrey out of the goalkeeper. because he knew that he wasn't having a good afternoon. Sam Savage says maybe Carrick gets a proper number 2 and not Woodgate. So maybe Carrick gets a proper number 2 and not Woodgate. Do we all forget he failed on his own, but now he's the man Carrick turns to? Well, Sam, I think he's got Jonathan Woodgate and he's also got his brother there, Michael Carrick. So his brother's just come in recently, so he'll be bedding in and getting used to his new surroundings. And I don't know how much input he actually has. But as I say, we can't make the same elementary mistakes regular. There's certain games teams will sit off us, we can play out for the back. But when teams close us down and harass us and we get flustered, then that's the time to launch it. There was one the day we passed along the back, went to the left, back to centre, went back to left, and then we launched it about 50 yards forward. We could have did that at the beginning. Even in Bernie, how on earth are we not talking about a Borough win today? 29 shots, numerous corners and possession. This is for Mark Wilson. Hiya, Mark. And with the possession we have, mate, play the kids on Tuesday night and let's get back on winning ways. It's Cardiff next week up the effing Borough from Matt and Jojo. Hiya, Matt and Jojo. Matt and Jojo travelled the country to watch the beloved Middlesbrough team. Take my hat off to them. As anybody that goes to games or travels the country, amazing, especially with all these time changes and whatever. Cardiff, is that a half-hour kick-off? I hope it's not. Anyway, yeah, so I wasn't aware. So the amount, we had chances, we played good football, but they allowed us to play football. And we allowed them to play football. And I think the result was a reflection on the performances of both teams. They came and had a goal. And I thought with them having a goal, that would lay the door wide open for us and we would take advantage. But we've not clicked yet in the scoring stakes. But I have to say, Conway, come off the bench, kept his cool and composed. He was on for about 15, 16 minutes. I thought he looked sharp as a razor. Getting the ball, laying it, spinning, playing 1-2s in around the box, got the penalty, sent the keeper the wrong way, gave him the eyes with the point, and he looks the part. And I've only seen him in 15 minutes. But some people you can watch for 10 games, you still don't get it. Some people you can watch instantly. It's a bit like music. Some songs you listen, or I listen to instantly, I think, love that. Other songs I need to listen repetitively to get used to it and get the hang of it. But I thought Conway looked the part. I was a wee bit surprised at Hamilton when he came off the bench, ended up left back. I thought he was a forward thick. Well, I know he can get forward as a defender, but he's a forward thinking player. I think he's a midfielder stroke forward, maybe playing the wing, but he came on, went left back. Anyway, keep them coming, I'll keep reading them. Andrew Hill, disappointing result, and the performance of the players was shocking, especially Isaiah Jones, the goalkeeper, Sene Dieng. Andrew Hill, yeah, Jones never had a good game. He didn't. The other thing I don't get, apart from keep passing it back to your keeper when he's having a rocky old time, you keep giving him the ball, I find it ludicrous. Don't put him under more pressure. Try and relieve the pressure with playing the ball to somebody else, or up the field or out the park. Don't get getting to Dieng. But Isaiah Jones, the amount of times he hit the first man was driving me crackers. And I'm not even in the middle. If I was in that middle, I'd go over and give him a right ear bashing. Let's hope Neto Borges is an upgrade on Engel. Engel is not the answer. That's for, I just caught that there. That's for, is it Scott 94? Yeah, Isaiah Jones hit the first man, but on the left we were hitting the first man. And the amount of shots, whether it was Azaz, whether it was Latty Laugh, whoever, I think they had one clear shot second half, 25 yards out, Keita made a great save. Latty Laugh with an overhead kick, Keita made a great save. Yeah, the Keita was good, but our finishing still leaves a lot to be desired. But when we're going to have a shot, the amount of times it gets blocked is unbelievable. That tells me that they're pulling the trigger too late. When the ball's coming away, they need to know, I'm getting on my feet and having a shot. We get it with feet, we take a touch, we try another touch and another one. But that time, we go to hit it and the lad puts his foot, the defender puts his foot and the danger's gone. And it happened, I've seen this loads of times last year and it's repetitive this season. We need to start pulling the trigger quicker. Get your shot off. Last third, do it as early as you can. Out your feet shot. If you turn shot, instead of touch, play it, get your shot off. Carl Atlas says, hello Bernie. Hi Carl, mate. I was at the match today and we showed glimpses of what we can do, but was left frustrated with the result and we should have got more from it. That's what we says last week, Carl. 20 shots on target last week against newly promoted Derby. They have 3 and end up winning 1-0 because of our stupidity and their frailties in defence. He's a Brazilian signing in the next 48 hours. So Neto Borges is a Brazilian signing in the next 48 hours for the Borough. I've heard the rumours today. Somebody's more or less rubber stamping that. Let's hope it's right. Another left back wouldn't go amiss. Yeah, we said it last week. We said it this week. We can't keep saying that. Last season there was games you say, oh, we should have done this. We could have. We could have. We should have. We maybe have. It's pie in the sky. I thought we'd win the day. I thought it would be 2-0. I don't bet, but it's only my inner thoughts. But I thought if they score 3 against Leeds, which is a cauldron of noise and they're a difficult crowd, Leeds, very intimidating. They go there and score 3. There's no reason why they can't come here and score 2 or 3. Well, they scored a couple. Now looks like we're bringing a 27-year-old Brazilian called Neto, who's played for about 7 clubs since 2017. This is Paul Ronald. Neto, who played about 7 clubs. His stats are as follows. Since 2017, appearances 140-ish, assists 14, goals about 5. Watched him on YouTube and looks no better than what we have already. I hope I'm wrong about what I think about him. You can tell us your opinion. If you watch him on YouTube, you've got eyes and you've got your opinion. Well, let's hope he is better than what we've got. Will he be another Giles? But Graham Addison says, same as you, Bernie, just don't get it. Why not just Borough? Other clubs play out from the back. You're a defender for a reason. Yeah, defenders over the years are meant to defend. First and foremost meant to defend. But so were goalkeepers. Goalkeepers were there to stop it. Now they're there to play football. And then had the cheating audacity even after the horrible goal that we conceded, was at it again. Short passes. The big Clarkey or some experience. Ailing. Big man. We don't want it yet. Scrap it. I don't care what Carrick's saying. It's not working. We've just conceded a goal. I wouldn't be saying it as nice as this, but I'm talking on alive. I'd certainly be saying that. And one of the experienced guys out there should be saying this. I'm 57 and we've always slipped up against the poor teams. Is that from is it Tartaria? Can't pronounce your name. Anyway, mate, I get the drift. So that lad's 57, he's been watching this a lifetime. Well, slipped up against the poor teams. It happened in my day, but not with fanning about the back, it didn't. Probably bad defending or whatever, but we're looking for trouble if we keep doing it. And 4 points out of 9 is not the start we thought when you looked at the opposition we were playing. We've had 2 home games, 1 win and a draw, 1 away defeat against newly promoted team. Still in the cup, which I think is a good thing. But what team? Are we going to play the reserve team again on the, is it Tuesday or Wednesday? And then change it again for the Saturday? I would be getting these guys in saying, listen, go and score goals through open play. You scored 2 penalties. And today's penalty, take your blinker glasses off. Was it a penalty? Dave Tweddle says, evening Bernie. Hi Dave. Mate, shocking today Bernie. Why do we just mess about in the box? Too many touches when the angle is there. First time and yet again gift him 2 goals. First one, shocking defence, wasn't all. Leaving the lad on his own to tap it in. The second, bloody hell. I don't know what to say. So Dave thinks like the majority is, and that's exactly what we're thinking. Seriously, the first goal they got in their own half on the right. They played it to the number 15 for them. He pulled it wide. They played a 1-2. The ball gets squared. The lad's middle of the goal, probably just inside left, off middle, off central, about 10 yards out. Free hit, placed it in the corner. Thank you very much. Tertiary Bernie, mate. All right, tertiary. Yeah. as I say, we've done it. Michael Carrick, I think, went public last year and said we'll continue to do it. Well, continue to do it, we'll keep continuing to get punished. As I say, I reflect Chelsea last season. I know they're a different grade of footballing, but they scored 4 like that and we kept doing the same thing. Bonkers. Bonkers. Keith Williams says, Deng will cost us promotion, Bernie. Steve Daly says, Jones needs to be loaned out to help him learn that final pass. Traore was the same. Somebody mentioned that to me today, but a bit better. Get this new boy Hamilton on. He's played and scored in the Champions League. Yeah, I've seen his goal. It was a great goal. Jones, I would... When I seen the young lad come on, I thought Jones was going to come off. Don't get me wrong. He stuck by Jones and Jones get the penalty. Whether it was a penalty or not, he's good at diving, Jones. And I'm a Borough fan. But he does. He's got a tendency to dive and look for it. People call it cheating. I call it gamesmanship. Do I like it? No. But when it goes Borough's way, I like it. But it doesn't mean it's right. Latte had a chance on the half, clean through. Could have hit it earlier or went round the keeper. Instead, he overran it and the keeper grabbed it. He needs to improve with his first time to think. Scott. Yeah, you're right. That was near the end of the game, wasn't it? The ball went through and Latte Laugh, touch heavy, and the keeper grasped it. Latte Laugh still got an average first touch for me, for a professional. His touch is still hit. He misses. Sometimes it sticks, sometimes it bounces off him like hitting a wall or a trampoline. And that's something I said it last season. I would say it to him if he was in front of me. You want to improve your game. Last season, last 3 months, you kept our season alive. You were magnificent in front of goal. But I'll tell you another thing. We Latte Laugh. Playing him in the first game against Swansea, he got a goal. He had a good game. He worked his ass off. Then we rest him a few days later playing Leeds United when he is a goal scorer like myself or want to play. In my day, you were rewarded by winning a game of football, playing well in that game or scoring a goal. That meant you kept your place for the next game. These days, as I said on my Total BS podcast on Monday, I says there is no coaches, or if there's any managers left in the game, there's a couple, they're all coaches. There's very few think for themselves. They all do the same thing. None of them play two up top. They play a striker up top and a number 10. On defensive corners, everybody keeps 11 in the box. When it's cup games, they all abuse it and chop and change. It's just the same rhetoric, it's the same things. They're like sheep. Meh, we all do the same. Oh, they do that, we'll do that. We play out to the back. Man City do it, everybody does it. Whether they're the top of the tree or the bottom of the tree, we all try it, we all try and do it. But you need to know your capabilities, you need to know your team, if they're good enough to do it or not good enough. We hit and miss it. Sometimes we're good, sometimes we're garbage. And it could cost us. I mean, you're saying the end, Keith, could cost us. I remember the kit we had a few years ago, dear God, I predicted then there's no way we were going anywhere. Him and goal. I can't remember his name. There was a few names getting tossed about, I can't remember his name. Who was it? Oh, Lumley. It was Lumley, David me. He didn't funny about, he was just a bad keeper. Lawrence Etherington says, I fear consistency may be a problem this season with expectations being so high. Can I ask, why is the lad from Man City not starting? What's the issue? Lawrence, I'll be honest, I'm surprised at the lad not starting. I expected him to start possibly today after last week getting beat. And the man in which we gave the goal away, I thought, you know what, Lawrence you could get him on the wing and give him a go. The lad Hamilton. But he came on later on at left back. So I don't know, but the lad Conway, I've seen enough in 15 minutes to say he might step in for Azaz. And maybe, I don't know if they'll put Conway up front and put Latte Laugh behind him or keep it. Because I spoke to a Bristol fan on the Red Radio, which I do every Monday, between 6 and 7 live. You can get it on DAB. And there was a Bristol fan who'd watches every game. He's a season ticket holder. I don't even know how he ended up on the show. But he came on and he was telling me a bit about him. He says he's not physically strong. He's not lightning quick, but he's not slow. He's got definitely an eye for goal. But he wants to play right up front. He doesn't think the number 10 role would suit him. He's in a better position at the minute. I've not seen enough of the lad. But what I've seen today, he looked game, taking a pick. By the way, I never seen it, but if you've seen it, did he actually take the ball off Latty Laugh? Because Latty Laugh was the penalty taker against Swansea and last season, and he scored against Swansea. Did he take the ball off him? Somebody needs to ask Carrick, how many times did Alec change the teams? Alec Ferguson. I would start the sub from the start. Excuse me. Fergie never changed the teams, not a lot. Coburn should be starting. Yeah. See, we've all got opinions, and some have got more substance than others. Nathan Williams says, even Bernard, I like getting called Bernard, although it's not a Sunday, we are playing well, no need to press the panic button, can't legislate for the individual errors. Time to worry is when we are playing Ian Wright, rhythmical, and not getting results at the Borough. Look, I'm not going overboard. The games I've watched, we've played the Carrick way in style and the brand, which is still fanning about the back, which I don't like, but playing good football. We're still trying to entertain, and for me that's very important. Carrick gave me the best football for 30 odd years. I've been nearly 40 years in Borough, but the last 30 years I've watched some dross and some boring managers and garbage football and mundane football. But Carrick came in first year, amazing. So this guy says, I was more confident in Conway, so Scott 94, taking in that Latty Laugh. I might be wrong, but I don't know if Conway missed one for Bristol. He's cool from the spot. So he was not confident in Conway taking it, the Latty Laugh. Yeah, fair play to the lad, but I'll be honest, if I'm Latty Laugh, and I'm being honest now, although he scored, if I'm Latty Laugh and I've scored and I've been in the team for a while, and this new kid in the blocks walked in, he's went, give me the ball, I'd say, sling your hook, I'm the penalty taker here, I'm the goal scorer. There's no way you'd take it off me. No way. I've done it in the past, the penalty takers. Yeah, anybody who can remember it, tell me the story and I'll tell the real story. I did miss a penalty and I was arguing with one of my teammates. If you know the story, tell me what the name of the guy is and I'll tell the rest. But anyway, there's no way. He scored the goal, which is all well and good, but if he misses it, Latty Laugh's got every right to go to Carrick and say what's going on. The penalty taker should be planned before the game. Maybe Carrick says Latty will let him get his first goal if a penalty comes up. Do you know, I swear to God, about 4 minutes before the penalty, I thought, the way we're going to go at this, we'll get a penalty. And it happened. I believe in the law of attraction, but that's ridiculous. Nice show, Borough fan. I'll tell you the other thing, Archie Stevens. Remember Archie Stevens, the older viewer, listener? He's with me the day, he's had a few drinks, he's effing and jeffing, and he's a Scouser. I called him for Liverpool and he says, no, just call me a Scouser. Did the Holgate give you stick when you shanked one in the stand last minute 2-2? Scott's let it out the bag. I like to criticise myself. We played younger viewer, so we're talking about penalty kicks. So I hadn't scored for a few games. When I mean a few, I mean 3 or 4. So we get a penalty, it's 2-2, it's in the Premier League, so it's 1992. It's on a Wednesday night, it's in front of a packed Holgate end, locked 2-2. Gary Parkinson, who was a great right back who scored some wonder goals for 25 yards, he was the penalty taker, but he'd been injured for a few weeks. So the penalty kick is awarded, last minute of the game. I'm physically wrestling for the ball, and I'm saying, he's saying, I'm the penalty taker, and I'm saying, but I'm the scorer, da-da-da, and we argue, and I'll win the argument. Put the ball down, take a few steps back, run up, hit it right into the Holgate end. A mob Holgate end. The whistle blows, 2-2. The fans are shouting, you Scotty effing and jeffing. And I took it like a man. I remember going in the dressing room, I said to Patty, I told you should have took it. Obviously I was joking. Cold light of day. I shouldn't have took it. It was unprofessional for me, I'm admitting it. I probably wouldn't have admitted then. That's unprofessional. You should know who's the penalty taker, and irrespective of what position I was in, no scoring for a few games, and I want the glory, and I want to score the winner, and I'm confident. Parker was the penalty taker, he should have taken it. And today, although the lad Conway scored, and it was a fine finish, kept his cool composure, keeper wrong way, he put it in the keeper's right, and the keeper dived left. Fine finish. He shouldn't be in that position if Latty Laugh's the penalty taker. Hello, Bernard. Bernie. No, he's not calling me Bernard. This is for Graham McTiernan. Hi, Graham. Hello, Bernie from Romania. Yeah, Romania, great. Have you bumped into Haji yet? I ask you that every time you come on. Is it early in the season? Early in the season, we will improve up the borough. Graham, we'll improve. I've no doubt. We've got some good players now. And as long as none of the big guns flee the nest before the window closes in the 30th of this month, I still think we will be top 6. I give it 12, 14 games before I start being really critical or saying my bit. But now, it's not been a great start. But we're still bedding in. Players are still bedding in. Still getting the fitness levels up. No need, keep the powder dry. Don't get overcritical. Overcritical are fanning about the back. The goal we conceded was a joke. Last week's goal was a joke. I'm getting angry with that. But the general play, no. Good to watch, exciting, entertaining, creative. We just need the shooting boots on. And I think that will come. You cannot keep missing 15, 20 shots a game. It's nearly impossible. I'm sure they'll start scoring. Latif does a lot off the ball or to steal the ball. But after that, somehow gets his feet mixed up. Yeah, sometimes he gets tangled up. Do you know what I think it is? Borough fan. That's his name, by the way. It's not me saying he's a Borough fan. Because he's so quick. I sometimes find some players that's so quick get their feet tangled. Can't get the ball at their feet. Or they take a heavy touch and it goes away from them. And although they're quick, they're not that quick. So I get it. Evening, Bernard. This is for Andrew Smith. Well, I'm not pressing the panic button just yet. But today is a reality check. We aren't so good as we think we are. It's gone there, hold on. We aren't as good as we think we are. Some fans are deluded, saying we would finish in the top 2. Look, there is a delusional, there's fantasies out there starting every season. And then Terry, forget the name, I know who you are. He's put, I lived in Cambridge in the early 90s and lived 2 minutes from the Abbey Stadium when John Beck was in charge and used to enjoy it. Then Borough came to Cambridge, so I went in the away end. Do you know what? I remember playing it. What was his name again? John Beck. He was the guy. I remember going to Cambridge. I think Dion Dublin was playing for Cambridge. The lad that does Homes Under the Hammer. He was seeing my pal in Mugger recently in Yam, having a coffee. Lovely guy. He played for Cambridge at the time. But what used to happen on a Wednesday soggy night, miserable, raining, the ball we got to play for a Middlesbrough throw-in, and if I was near us, I'd get it and throw it. When it went out for them, the ball boys were trained to have, they all had towels up the jumper, dry towels, and they used to dry the ball for the guy that was throwing it, because he loved the long throws. Remember under Tony Pulis, was it Shotton? Used to throw balls as far as I could kick them. It was that carry on. But yeah, he used to dry the balls. What nonsense. Sort of changes could have been made a lot sooner today. Stephen Hart, people say that all the time. They've said that for a long time. Michael Carrick seems to leave his subs too late. Saying that, he put subs on and we did get the goal. So he could argue with that. Paul Nicholas says, seems like we need to score first to win at the moment. When we concede first, side shut up shop and we struggle in the final third. No goal in the opening play, yet is a slight concern. Conway looks quality. Yeah, 15 minutes, as I say, sometimes you just see something in a player. And I seen something there, I thought, shut his attack is a razor, one touch playing, run players, he whipped one over. Was it him that whipped one over when Latif came in back stick and missed it? It was inside right. I think he's played a 1-2 and he's whipped a great ball past the keeper who's came to the near post, and it's went right by the base of the left-hand post. It was a daisy cutter, meaning on the floor, and Latif was a second too late. What I hadn't included was how Cambridge were. If you didn't support them, as soon as they won the ball, they kicked it to the keeper who hoofed it up to the top left-hand corner, was it? Then put the ball in. Yeah, they were a long ball team. And Beck was I didn't like his style and brand of football. I think it was probably good. Maybe that was the type of players they had. They had to play that style. But I'd rather the Michael Carrick style all day long. You know, bit of football, bit of entertainment, creating things and trying to score goals. Yeah, as I say, Norton, in the league, we've not scored an open play yet, but it must come. We've had about 30, 40 shots in 2 games, 3 games. Hackney and Morris, too similar. You don't need 2 sitting in there. One should advance. Hackney had an absolute stinker. Phil, what about his shot? When he had a great shot, Phil. It looked goal bound and the kid made a great save, tipped it over the bar. That was Hackney, and then he'd one that came out there and they shanked it. A pigeon off the stand. I don't think Hackney's as bad as you portrayed there. I don't think Hackney's been at his best for a while, including last season. Talk about Tottenham. I don't see where that's coming from. I think people just plucking things out the air. Do I think Aiden could go in there now after being out for about 2 or 3 months last season, hit and miss this season, and last season, the first season it was great. Do I think he could walk into the Tottenham side? No chance. I don't believe it for a minute. That's not having a go at the kid. I think he's got all the potential going, but I don't think he's at his best. And I don't think he's did enough in the last year to say that the big boys have been for him. Colin Fright says, Azaz been disappointing so far. I agree with that as well. Yeah, I'll go back to that. Need McGree back. Colin, but Colin, where is McGree? Where does he get injured? Never get injured against Swansea, never played against Leeds, never played at Derby, never played today. What is his injury? Is anybody... I don't know his injury. I don't look it up. I just know he's out the team. And then I see Van den Berg's out the team. I'm thinking, well, where did he get injured? Look at the best facilities and the best... Everybody looking after everybody. They're treated like kings of modern players and we're falling like flies. Yeah, Azaz, I think he's not National Player of the Republic. I think he's got qualities. Just not quite grasped it yet. Last season... I give him a benefit of doubt. I'll judge him this season. We're only a few games in, but there's nobody really set the header line. You thought, wow, what a player. What a season he's going to have. I'm a liar. Morris. I think Morris has done well. He get taken off for the... I was a wee bit disappointed in that as well. I didn't think he was going to come off. We've had 67 shots in the league. 67 shots and we've no scored for open play. I mean, that's criminal. Do you think we should make subs earlier? Matt Wilson. I think it's an easy thing to debate. You know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. If you leave it late and get beat, well, you never put them on. We put them on late today. It's like Southgate with England. Southgate was getting ridiculed every game. He was putting subs on late, but England ended up winning games and scoring late goals. And you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's a gamble. Nobody knows if it's too late until the end of the game. Then you say, oh, you put them on too late. I think it's an easy thing to have a go at, but me personally, I've seen enough evidence today to think, Jones, you're not doing it, you come off. You know, we're struggling on the left, Engel, there was a few highlights today that you could think, yeah, you come off early doors. The big man's on his, on the marks with Cambridge. Yes, I've answered that, sorry. I've got these to read out. I don't read them, I promise I'll read them out in the Tobias podcast, which is out every Monday. On paper, I really thought this was the good team. This was a good team. On paper, I really thought this was a good team. Borough was a good team. Look, I was happy with the team today. I thought one change, fine. And it's forced because obviously Dick Steele came in, who was very good against Leeds, deserved a crack at it. Thought the boy done well again today. Bombing up and down that right-hand side. He's got pace. He's fairly strong now. He's grown in confidence. He was cutting inside and trying to play 1-2s. There was one, it was Leeds-esque, if you like, when he came up the right, beat a man, looked to play, well, he pretended to play the 1-2 and he cut on his left and then he get closed down. I thought he was going to try the same again and kill it. Definitely need to make changes earlier. What's the point of having amazing signings sat on the bench until the last 10 minutes? Well, I think what Carrick's doing, I think he's saying to the lads, I've brought you in, I've paid money for you, but you ain't going to walk in the team. These guys are going to get a chance. And if they huff and puff and don't deliver, then you'll get a chance. And then, irrespective of paid good money, if you start to huff and puff and struggle and not do the business, you'll be on the bench again. I think that's fair. Give the guys that's in now a chance. So I think that's fair. I was citing versus Derby that Hamilton should have been on the left, but instead he took the place of Jones. But after seeing him play on the left, I think he's going to be a great asset. Yeah, Hamilton, I don't know his best position as yet, but I heard he's a midfielder stroke forward-thinking player, and I'm looking forward to seeing the lad. He's young, he looks vibrant. He did a few step-overs a day without really getting into it, but Paul Nicholas says, amount of balls in the box, no player on the end, and shots blocked is unreal. Well, Paul, first of all, the amount of shots blocked, at right or left, try to cross the ball, take too long to do it. The defenders time and time again block it, frustrating us. The fault, so when the ball's going to the right or the left wing, the fans are watching the ball and watching the man that's receiving the ball. They're not watching the forwards. The forwards are moving to get into space to try and get on the wrong side of their opponent, the defender, and try to get in there. But then, time after time, it's hit the first man. It's highly frustrating. And it does my head in, and I'm sitting in the stand. As I say, I would be giving them it. I don't really see Latty laughing at, pointing the finger at. But you have to wake them up. Is there a Facebook Live after Tuesday? Scott 94, not Tuesday, because what time is the game? Oh, it is 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you know what? I'll put it to Wednesday. I'll do it earlier Wednesday. I don't know what games are on the Wednesday, because I will put it on Monday and let you know that. I know it's an early kick-off. What is the reason it's an early kick-off? Something to do, kids go to school and all that. Well, let's see if we progress into the next round and we play a Premiership team at the Riverside. Let's see when Sky and all that are dictating times. Let's see if they move it to 70 to suit the kids. Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. Alex Scott, the first goal was a gift. The second was gift wrapped. Absolute shambles defensively at times in the first half. This is for Alex Scott. We looked great going forward. Hackney and Morris looked standing in the middle. We dominate games and create chances. Things will click. So Hackney was, well, somebody was having a go and saying that it wasn't very good. This guy saying Hackney and Morris, and somebody says earlier that Hackney and Morris, there's only one of them should be playing that role. But this guy's got the two of them are doing brilliant. That's for Alex Scott. Francis Pape says, thought Clark was class today. Our best player, not happy about the result. Very frustrating, but the point is better than nothing. Point is better. We got a jail at the end. Was it a penalty? We don't know, but we'll take it. Thought Clarky was the man involved, wasn't he, with Dieng? I'm sure it was Clark. The two of them, lack of communication, the two of them carried the can for that mistake. And then the lad runs in and puts an empty net. You couldn't make it up. So you can imagine, if you've not seen it, the ball's get played inside left. Dieng has a rush of blood, runs to there's the box, 18-yard box, runs to the right-hand side of the box, right to the edge yet, where Big Clarky is. The two of them go for the same ball. The two of them make a hash it that bounces to the number 15, who runs and puts into the empty net. They two are more or less cuddling each other. I mean, the goals we're conceding, that one in last week's, and the first one today was a poor one. On the plus side, once we click, I think we will score for fun. Paul Nicholas. Paul, I've no doubt you cannot keep creating that amount of chances not scoring. If I'm a striker, Jones is a waste of space. Even at 45, I could cross past the first man. Actually, Blackbeard says that. Do you know what? Even at my age, 95, I could cross. The thing was, Jones should, I said this, I think, last week, Jones should go and get, in that position, on the right, go and get Beckham. I'm saying Beckham, I know he never played for man, but get Beckham. Beckham never beat a man. Very seldom beat a man. He used to get the ball for Scholes or Keane or whoever. There you go. Giggs was on the left, Beckham on the right. Play it to Beckham, telepathic. Didn't even have to lift the head. He's there. He kept his shape and balance, like Jones does, to be fair. Give it to him. Jones, get out of your feet. You don't need to beat anybody. No matter where you are, as long as you're in the opposing half, whip it into the space. Hit the space. And he'll be a success. But this continuously touch, touch, touch. Pass back, get it back, touch, touch, touch. Hit the first man, corner, throw in, they get possession. Frustrating us. Put him in the middle and let me go on the right, and I'll give all the duff balls and let's see how he thinks. Now, Bernie, good to see you at the game again today. What a crazy game. But as we were saying, we're only scored 2 penalties, Mark Letta. 2 penalties and a set piece in 3 league games. Yeah, so if you're going with the stats, some people are saying 40 odd shots at goal, not all on target, of course. 40 odd shots. We've scored 3 goals in the league, 2 from penalties and 1 from a corner kick. The law of averages says we need to start hitting the net. Steve Daly says we aren't good enough to play from the back for. Yeah, we know. Barcelona, Real Madrid, yes. Our players don't have it. Steve, I totally agree 100%. To keep doing the same things over and over again, you need your sanity questioned. There's certain games we can look, and in the stand you look and think, we'll get away with it today. They're not good at closing it down. They're not sharp enough or fast enough. But there's certain teams who do close you down. And I don't get this pass in negative areas. You're just looking for trouble. You're causing mayhem for yourself. You either got crossing ability or you haven't. Downing did, Jones hasn't. Jones does occasionally, Stewie did regular. If you're a winger, you have to look. It's a bit like Jones for the goal last week. I bet he didn't scan. I don't know. I can't prove it. But when the ball's crossed from the right-hand side last week, I know we're backtracking, but we're talking about Jones, where he is and he's looking and thinking and his vision. When the ball's in flight, he should have a quick look behind him, both sides, what's left and right of him. I don't think he did. And when he was closed down with the lad Jackson last week, he panicked, turned and tried to play it back to Deng, who's a mile away. And when he's crossing, when he knows whoever it is getting him, say it was Hackney, turns, and he knows it's coming, he should be already scanning while the ball's coming, where I'm going to play it, who's moving. I think Jones has got a tendency, he waits till the ball's at him, then he lifts his head and then he thinks, what am I going to do? It's too late, everything's shut down. When the ball's travelling, he should be scanning. Right, ball's there, get out my feet, I'm going to whip and hit the space. I don't believe he does that for a minute. And he's not a young whippersnapper now, he's getting on, isn't he? Might not have been a penalty, but makes up for Portsmouth keeper not getting sent off. Never seen time wasting like it. Paul, a couple of my mates says that, and I like to be a straight talker. I seen Demi Constantopoulos doing that the year we went up. Demi was quality. I'm not knocking him. It's gamesmanship, but Demi did that. Used to jump up and get it, and then he would dive to the floor and hug it and kiss it and lick it, and then the referee would be saying, come on. And that would drive the opposing team mad. But it's part and parcel of the game. Take your glasses off and look. Would we do it? We done it. We done it under a few managers, but I'm just giving you. Schwarzer did it. But Big Demi was the king of it. That year we went up, he used to lie and tap the ball, flatten the ball. It was like a pancake. 100% agree with that, mate. Carrick takes way too long. So Matt's agreeing that mental carrick takes long. The scoring chances do suggest we will do all right once we start converting the chances. When we Dakpom, teams were terrified. I don't worry going the goal down. It's always looked like to score. The thing about today is the opponents, they were bold and brave and didn't clog it up, didn't try to frustrate us. They were having a go at us. And that suited us. I didn't think, when I'm going to Leeds and getting a 3-3 draw, I thought, they ain't going to come here and just show things up. They're going to have a go. And they did have a go. And they scored 2 goals. Could have scored 3. So, credit to them. And that suits us. It's the teams that come and just say, every player behind the ball, get 2 double-decker buses. We'll bore the players, the opposing players and the fans to death. But Brian says, Conway needs to start. Looked really positive. Crossing was poor. Hardly beat the first man, frustrating. But this is a trend that goes on regular. We might get 3 quality crosses out of about 20. Not good enough. If you're a wide man like Jones and Co, you need to come off the park and say, many quality crosses did I have a day? If you're a midfielder, how many shots did I have at goal a day? How many in target? If I'm up front, I need to have a few shots. In the last third, as I say, I was taught many years ago, in the last third, and it was Lenny Lawrence, I'm going to give him praise. Me and Lenny didn't say, yeah, I do now, Lenny's fine, we're cool. And it was a good saying. Last third, finish with a cross or a shot. That's a good saying. And if you don't, you failed. You get the ball wide, get in the box. If you get a chance of shooting and it opens up, have a shot. Don't dilly-dally, tippy-tappy. Jones had a dragging leg to get these penalties. He'll be found out soon by the officials. Well, Steve, you're a Borough fan, and I've seen this. I've seen it last season. There was times where over the referee would say, get up, and the fans would obviously, it's a penalty. You're going to say it's a penalty, but I like to be fair in my opinions. I don't know. I'd be lying if I say it wasn't a penalty. But I spoke to people round about, former referee, Borough fan. He didn't think it was a penalty. His knowledge is greater than mine. I don't know if his eyesight's as great as mine. No, seriously. There was a couple of lads round about. No penalty. All Borough fans. But there was one or two of my mates who said, definite penalty, Stonewaller. Anyway, it's gone. We got it and we scored it. Dave Twiddle says, Jones is hit and miss player. On his day he can be good, but 9 times out of 10 he's rubbish. Today he looked like... where are we? Let's see, sorry, he's rubbish today. We spend good money for a player from Man City and keep him on the bench. He should be ahead of Jones all day, in my opinion. Well, Jones still get the penalty today, so you have to give him credit. If he cheated, then you're still going to give him credit because it gives Borough a point that we looked as if we weren't going to get. But I'd have probably had him off. I probably wouldn't have got the penalty because I'd have probably taken Jones off. And last week, I'd have dragged him off. And by the way, Jones and Hackney, same positions today, corner kicks. But Jones was to the right, Hackney was central today. Anybody see that? And nobody's answered my question. Did Conway take the ball off Flatty Laugh? Why buy 2 decent forwards but never play them together up front? Latty, Conway, or however, 4-3-2-1 is a poor formation. Azaz lacks that cutting edge. Yeah, Azaz will need to be careful, otherwise he's going to find himself at the team. I don't think he's a bad player, but I don't think he's set the header alight where you go, wow, he's the business. He's not scored enough, created enough, or really played enough to say he's really some boy. But this guy that came on, I thought, Conway, he's sharp, he was just razor sharp. Movement was good, touches, only 15 minutes, probably got about 7 touches and 1 was a goal for the penalty spot. And you need a lot of balls to join a new club and take the penalty in front of your new fans, if you like. And he did it very convincingly and very cool. Bernie, it seems to me like our players have to play in a robotic way like Carrick told them to. Do instead of playing, say Mark, instead of playing what's best at the time. As soon as McGree gets fit, Azaz will be benched. McGree will be back in the team, and what back in the team, I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's the best player we've got, in my opinion. Where are we here? So Bernie, it seems Carrick's told him. Yeah, but when the coach in Carrick's case, tells players this is what we want to play, I think the coach has to be strong enough, and Bruce Rioch certainly was. Bruce Rioch was regimental, ruthless, his way or the highway, but there was times he would say to Tony Mowbray, who was a captain, and he trusted Mugger, said he would take him to the moon. He used to say to Mugger, this is the game plan, everybody's in it, but if it doesn't go to plan, Mugger, if you think we should change it, and if it fails again, then we'll sit down and discuss it. I think that's good coaching stroke management. So you give the players and the captain, this is what we want to do, this is how we want to do it, but once you go over the line, the captain takes over and he then becomes the manager and changes it, and then they can discuss it at half-time or at the end of the game. I think that's good management coaching. Because not always, you can have the best coaching manual and manager and thoughts, but once you go out there, something may change in their lineup. A couple of players get injured, and you guys come on, you don't really know, and everything's up in the air. So I think it's good to go out there and change things accordingly, not to stick rigidly to the same idea. Maybe the same for Foz and Jones. Jones probably has 2 contenders for his spot, Hamilton and Foz. Somebody was saying today Foz could go. I thought he was gone. What's his injury? How long's he been out? Foz. McGree last year was out for a while. Hackney was out for a long while. Dale Fry was out for a long while. What are these injuries? And where are they getting them from? I don't seem to see them in games. I watch every game. Every game last year, I go live at the Riverside, and I watch every one live on the TV, and I don't see them getting injured in games. There must be some training sessions we're having. And I doubt that very much. If we miss playing out from the back, we could rump this league. Carrick needs to realise we aren't that good at the back. Well, Stephen, he doesn't realise it now when he's in his third season. He'll never realise it. We're not good at it. Some of our fans were taking the Jeffrey today with Dieng. Had the cheeking audacity to try it again and try it on after a disastrous goal. The goals opposition scored, we've made them. Carrick has a lot to prove. He's learning on the job. Paul Wan has beaten 4 times in Rotherham. Derby manager and Matt Robbins has also outdone him several times. This is a season to prove himself. Actually, Blackbeard, yeah, Michael Carrick, the pressure's on Michael Carrick this season. He knows that. We know that. This is the season he has to succeed, i.e. get at least top 6 and hopefully promotion. I don't think there's any ifs or buts. If we fall outside the top 6, and I don't care how many injuries we've got, the squad's big enough now. We've held on to everybody through the summer. Let's hope we can do so by the 30th of this month when the window closes. The pressure's on Michael Carrick. He knows that. And he's been backed. We can't say he's not been backed. The club's backed him, brought players in, decent players, right position, forwards. Dave says, if you were manager now at the club, well, be coach, not manager in the modern game. Bernie, would you like to bring an out-and-out goal scorer in before window shuts? I would bring another forward in for sure, but 5 minutes, where do you get natural goal scorers? Goal scorers cost big bucks. We've spent big bucks in the past, don't forget. Alves, 12 million. Macaroni, 8 million. Rav was 7. Michael Ricketts, I don't know what he cost, but we get robbed. Rudy Justed, dear goodness. But we've spent a lot of money in duffers, and it's not materialised. Now we're paying, in the modern world, we're paying peanuts for strikers. Let's hope they produce. Let's hope because you don't cost a lot of money doesn't mean you're not going to be good. One of the other things, Bernie, I hear about the concerns is losing Latilaf, Rav and Hackney before Friday's window. But the one lad I don't want to hear about leaving is Clark. He's been fantastic, but Big Clark has been immense so far this season. Amazing. I'm starting to call him the Kaiser. The younger generation, that's Beckenbauer, the great German, who won the World Cup with Germany, and I think he managed them and won the World Cup. But no, seriously, Clark has been immense. First came in, injured for a while, came in, hitty-missy, turbulent, and then he started to settle down, and he carries the ball out. He was zipping some wonderful balls. He gets forward and gets back. He leads by example. He puts in some great tackles. Yeah, so he's been really good, I have to say. Really good. Ipswich at home, remember it. 2-2. Still love you, Bernie. Yeah, I've told the story early, Paul. I took it on the chin like a real man. Ipswich at home, it was 2-2. Penalty kick. I won the argument for the ball. And in front of a packed Holgate Inn on a Wednesday night with a minute to go in the Premier League, Slaven won the argument and duffed the shot right into the Holgate. And I got the V signs, scarves thrown at me, shouting you're Scottish, whatever, get back up north. And I deserved it. Because A, I shouldn't have took it, and B, I shouldn't have missed it. So I took it. So listen, I'm just going to finish off here. I'm not going to read these. I'll read these in my Total BS podcast, which is Monday. You can get it on Apple, Spotify, Spreaker. You get it anywhere. It's free. My guests last couple of weeks was part 1 and part 2 with Donna Reardon, who was captain under the late great Willie Madron. You can rewind it and listen. There's loads of former players and managers of the past and interviews with singers and comedians. This week, it's one of the 86 legends, Gary Gill. Gary Gill, local lad, was the fittest guy in the Middlesbrough team. I used to chase his backside every run. I used to be chasing his backside. He was super fit, had a lot of bad injuries. He held it like glue in the midfield. Not glamorous, but very good at what he did. Win the ball, give it to guys that could play, give support, defend well. And he talked about that 86 period, and obviously he was a European scout with Middlesbrough in recent years under Tony Mowbray, and then under Karanka, and he's now at Southampton. So he talked, it's part 1 and 2, so about an hour and 20 minutes, so half and half. But listen, younger generation, I always say it's important to learn about the history of your club. Gary Gill was a big player in that period, third, second, first after liquidation and bankruptcy. He's another player that could have headed to the hills and says, up you Middlesbrough, you're not paying me, you broke the contract, I'm out of here. But the lads never. I put a picture out the other day, it came up on my timeline, a few years old, the 86 team. And I posted it and I gave everything about the team. I mean, the younger generation think you're telling lies when you tell a story. I joined Middlesbrough, relegation, liquidated, bankrupt, gates locked, washed our own gear, trained in every park because we couldn't get into Essen Park, the gates were locked. We trained in Albert Park, Dogshit Park, Hall Drive, Hutton Road, everywhere we trained, anywhere and everywhere. Had to wash our own gear. As I say, we weren't getting paid. And then we went third, second, first consecutive season. That was real balls of steel, Teesside steel, I have to add. Why don't we get more players in the box when we hit the bar line? Well, it's an attitude. Some players don't like to push up because they don't want to get called defensively. And some people are more defensive minded than they are attack minded. You know, when the ball goes over you, if I'm a midfielder and say Clarkey launch one over the top, instead of messing about the back, somebody Van der Berg or Ailing hits a long ball. I'm a midfielder, that ball's over my head, I'm in there, I'm gambling, the bit's going to fall to me. But if it doesn't and they get the ball back in possession, they launch it, I'm out of position. Some players don't want to do that. Dave said 100% mark takes far too long, and when they do get in, there's hardly any time left. The effect to match. So we're talking about subs. Thought Engel was poor today, Bernie. Engel huffed and puffed, yeah. That's for Michael Dismore. The lads will know, players know. Bernie, do you remember playing Cambridge away in 1991 in the FA Cup? Basically played on a sand pit, got beat 2-0, ref was John Key and had a shocker. Henry denied a Stonewall pen, very cold day as well. I think I do, and it's one I want to forget. You're right, Paul, thanks for the memories. I'll read 3 more out, and that's it. Is McGree worth keeping? Injured more than not. Feels like a waste of wage. I was there, laugh out loud. Big deal on Dublin up front, yeah. McGree's certainly worth keeping. He has his fair share of injuries. But hold on, what is his injury? Has anybody reported what the injury is about? Is he injured? Could he be gone? My mind, I've got I've not got a strange mind, I think I've got an honest mind, and one that I think because you're signing 4-year contract, doesn't mean you can't be sold. And I'm thinking 30th of this month, window closes, I'll not be settled as a Borough fan until the window's closed and Hackney and Van der Berg and McGree and all that are still here. Because 4-year contract doesn't mean you're not going anywhere. Somebody, it could have been a deal done with the other club, Middlesbrough, McGree, yeah, sign it, suits everybody, and we're going to sell you and you get big bucks. I don't know. I might be talking utter rubbish, but it's possible. And when players go missing a couple of games in, especially when you're not... McGree's only played 1 game and he's got injured. I never seen him getting injured in the Swansea game. At training, they could tell you anything. I'm not talking about Middlesbrough, I'm talking about anybody up and down the country, any club can tell you any hogwash. It's up to you to believe them. I don't believe anybody. I have to dig it up and think, right, how's that happened and why is that and is that true? And I'm suspicious of everything. It's not a good way to live your life, I suppose, but you have to be in the modern world. Even Bernie, not doing ourselves any favours at the back, but stuck it at it and got a point. On to the next one, up the effing Borough for Stuart. Last one I'm going to read. As a player, if I was put on with 15 minutes to go, doesn't give you time to get into the game. I agree with that as well, but how many subs, you're talking about that, Steve. As a player, if I was put on with 50 minutes to go, it doesn't give you time to get into the game. Steve, Liverpool had a guy called Fairclough, David Fairclough, ginger kid. like a long-haired Andy Campbell. Andy, if you're watching, no disrespect. And he was quite the same as Andy Campbell, and a good player like Andy Campbell. He used to come on late every game and scored practically every game. They called him Super Sub at the end. He never shoot that tag off. He was always on the bench and always come on and scored late goals late in the games. Sky ha nightmare on the Prem. Heroes and Legends, big Palace coming up. I've not got the date right in front of me. I tell you what, Gary Palace is coming up. It's 2 weeks' time. It's an old Dragonora near the riverside. Can't remember the name. Send me the name. Lads watching now, send me the name. I lost a bit of Peter, I've been rushing like mad. Did the Legends Lounge. Rushed to the Dovecot. Thanks to people in the Dovecot for chatting to me. A lot of decent people. Met a couple of Portsmouth fans. But Gary Passett is going to be doing for Heroes and Legends. He's doing a night. It's in the old Dragonora, which is the hotel near the riverside. And he'll be doing a question and answer. He'll be talking about his medals. And he's got a lot of them. Don't worry about that. And he's got some great stories about Fergie and playing with the likes of Cantona. And yeah, so it'll be a great night. So Heroes and Legends, Pally is going to be in the Dragonora in a couple of weeks' time. As I say, I've not got the dates in front of me, but I will be putting it out there on my Total BS podcast. As I say, you can listen to the Gary Gill interview. So thanks again for listening. I've overshot the runway. I will read these out on the Total BS podcast. And thanks as always to the sponsors, Heroes and Legends, who set up these great nights. I think Gaz is another one that's coming up. I think it's in Manchester. GRS Installation, Cornerstone, Galaxy Blinds, Dovecot, Smith & Friends Estate Agents, Advanced Utility Solutions, Ultra Build, Cleveland Systems Engineering, and TGM Cars. Thanks for watching. Well done, Borough. We grabbed the late goal, got the point. I still enjoyed the game as a spectacle. End to end, it was fairly open. Not the dream start we expected, but loads of games to go. Keep your powder dry. Don't get too critical and don't get too carried away. Just calm down. Up the Borough. I'll be back. Total BS podcast Monday, as I mentioned, and then I'll be back. Is it Tuesday the game? Tuesday's the game. I'll be at the game. We'll say it'll be Wednesday at 7 o'clock for the Facebook and YouTube live. If you heard that, that's a cat, not a missus. Cheers. Up the Borough.